Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of the Foolish Fish Esoteric News with your weekly updates on the worlds of esoteric and occult book publishing and arts and events and paraphernalia. We're starting off this week with an announcement from Three Hands Press. Dream Divination Plants has been available for purchase for a little while now. You can already purchase the soft cover and the standard hard cover with gilt stamped boards and colored dust jacket, for $17.50 and $42 respectively. But they have now announced a special edition in full moss green leather with slip case, limited to 16 copies. So not many copies at all. Those will go for for order. There's no pre-order on this. These will be available for order on June 28th. I imagine some people out there might be dubious about putting a pre-order, which is why it's nice that it's an actual order. This will be available to order directly from the website on June 28th. So that's very exciting. Mark it in your calendars if it's something that you are after. Let's move on to further news. Letters to Friends of the Spirit, Martinist Views and Others. And it's this and others, which is kind of interesting here. This is a book that brings together Martinism, Rosicrucianism, Freemasonry and many others in the same kind of style. Michael Sanborn, the translator, reached out to me quite recently asking me if I would like a copy. I've had a closer look at it, and if you have a look at Ways of Awakening, it's actually cheaper to buy it directly through Ways of Awakening, although depending on where you are in the world you might want to consider what the shipping costs might be, of course. Do check it out. It's in full color, and I'm really looking forward to getting a closer look. As you can see, 42 letters to Friends of the Spirit were sent in 5 languages in the form of briefs on a weekly basis during the periods of restricted freedoms in 2021 to members of Initiatory, Masonic, Martinist, Gnostic, Pythagorean, Rose-Croix, Swedenborgian and other organizations in order to support practice. That sounds really exciting to me. I think that there could be some really very interesting material there. And while you're on the website, by all means, go and have a look at what else they have there. Links down below, naturally. Moving on to Craft of the Hedge Witch Special Edition hardcover. It's hard for me to say, is this a dust cover? They published a few pictures of the actual book itself, which looks so nice, and it's what drew my attention to it. I don't see a dust cover on this. Is this the standard hardcover? Is it the deluxe special edition, hardcover, now available for pre-order? It's difficult to say. Bound in black with dark green end pages with a ribbon bookmark and foil stamped spine and cover. This does not look like a foil stamp. This does look like a foil stamp. I think this is probably what the book will end up looking like. What the book currently looks like, right? Is it possible that this is a picture of the paperback? I can't say. But anyway, it looks kind of interesting. The description is down below. If you consider yourself a hedge witch, then this might be something of interest to you. Shipping seems to have begun. Right, they have magic based on seamlessly shifting themselves in the twilight plane, where miracles are commonplace, and their magic flows freely. Yeah, I'll let you have a read of that in your own time. Let's move on to news from the Galobart Books, who have published a complete facsimile of the Voynich manuscript. This very curious, mysterious manuscript, which has eluded translation and deciphering. It's written in this very weird language in the 15th century, and with many plants that just don't exist. It's obviously attracted a lot of curiosity and interest over certainly over the past century since it was discovered or should I say rediscovered, back in the 1910s or 1920s, I believe. Yeah, it looks really, really exciting, really nice. If you are a fan of this particular manuscript, then this could be an edition for you. Let's move on to news from Abracax's house. I'm not sure if this is news or not. It was difficult for me to find an actual publication date, but it looks really cool. This is a two-part translation of the Dictionnaire Infernal by J. Collin de Plancy. The Dictionnaire Infernal, you may recognize these illustrations, which were originally from de Plancy's Dictionnaire Infernal, and this is an ultimate edition, translated into English with all the original illustrations, naturally, and in 2 volumes. I mean, that's incredible, isn't it? Volume 1 from A to L, and Volume 2 from M to Z. It looks very beautiful with full colour end papers. And so on. lots to appreciate right there. Okay, links down below, of course. Let's move on to news from. I think this. Let me just remind myself of who the publisher was here. Yes, Inner Traditions. This looked like an interesting book, which is that is about to come out. Lightbringers of the North: Secrets of the Occult Tradition of Finland. There's not very much out there about Finland specifically. There's quite a lot around neighbouring countries. This is going to be appreciated by many practitioners, whether they are Finnish or not, I should imagine. But I would definitely imagine that our Finnish viewers are going to find something of interest right here. Let's move on finally to, well, maybe not quite finally, but certainly finally in terms of books. And this is an audiobook. Cosmic Trigger Part 3 has finally been recorded and released. It was Tommy Kelly. Thank you so much, Tommy Kelly, for bringing my attention to this one, to bringing many people's attention to this one. Robert Anton Wilson, as you know, is one of my firm favourites. Absolutely love what Uncle Bob did in his lifetime, and yeah, to have an audiobook which is really beautifully read, actually very, very appropriately read for the particular style of Robert Anton Wilson. Yeah, great to see that there is now an audiobook for Part 3. Part 1 and 2 are obviously also available down here, and have been for a while. Okay, tarot and oracle divination mats are now looking for funding, so you can go to the Kickstarter page right now. It looks like they have funded by a long shot. They were looking for £7,300. They've got £35,000. Many people have already spotted the quality on these neoprene mats. So they are oracle divination mats, so yeah, obviously for use with your tarot. I believe you can get them as stickers, you can get them as actual so vinyl stickers, you can get them as actual neoprene mats in various styles. So colour, black and white, and then yeah, this print on the back right there. Very clever, very nice. I should imagine they'll do very well. Or some dice as well. I hadn't spotted those. Quite an interesting idea. 12-sided dice for divination. They're quite pretty as well. Okay, very good stuff. Very nice. Links down below, of course. And now on to the section where I'm going to be talking about classes and events, and there's going to be quite a few actually. So, Decoding the Renaissance, 500 Years of Codes and Ciphers, is going to be online on the 4th to the 8th of July, from 3 p.m. To 5 p.m. And it looks complete. It looks very... I'll let you read some of the titles there. They look very, very exciting. I'm sure that if any of you out there are into your cryptography, specifically into your Renaissance cryptography, those of you who may be interested in John Dee and who knows, the Voynich manuscript possibly might be covered here as well. I'm not 100% sure. That seems like a very reasonable fee for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of events. Looks very cool. Very, very cool. All right. Moving on to the Australian Wiccan conference, which I was already telling you about last week. When I was saying that David Beth has been invited to speak, and it seems that Dr. Angela Puka from Angela's Symposium is going to be speaking there as well. And of course, Angela, I wish you all the very, very best. That's going to be quite an event from what I can tell. The Australian Wiccan Conference actually commented on my previous news video. Was it the previous one? I think it was just last week's, to say that it will not only be in situ, so in Australia, but it will also be broadcast live. So there are some ways of just getting tickets for the digital events as well. So that's very nice, very cool. Moving on to news from Matt Auryn or Auryn. I never know, Matt, how to pronounce your name. I think it's... I'm not going to say what I think it is. I'm going to say Matt Auryn. Matt is going to be basically heading this Other Worlds of Wonder conference, which is going to be happening in Portland, if I understand correctly. It was actually quite difficult for me because I'm not sure if this is a location. I wasn't able to find a location other than directly through Matt's post on Facebook over here, where he says, if you're in Oregon. So we know that it's at least in Oregon, and I'm pretty sure I saw Portland somewhere on the Other Worlds of Wonder website, where you can actually buy your tickets to actually go if you're in that area of the United States, naturally, around the 23rd to 26th of June. But I do encourage you to go and check out what's going to be happening there. It looks quite exciting. It looks quite authentic, quite nice. Certainly, if I was living in Oregon or anywhere close to Oregon, I would certainly be looking into this and trying to get a little bit more information. That seems quite exciting. All right, moving on to news from Jason Miller, whose latest course, The Sorcery of Hekate, or Hekate, depending on how you like to pronounce it, has just started again. So it's not too late to get signed up. It's still in the first week. And this goes on for many, many months, I believe. I think it's about 7 months, isn't it? Yes. And it is a very sought after course, and people tend to find out too late that the course is starting, and then they have to wait another year or however long, or half a year at least, to get started on the following the following course. So right now, if you want to get signed up, you can actually get access to the first week's videos already, and the Facebook groups, and and just get started with the class at its beginning, right? Not actually join once the class has been going already for several weeks or even months. You can see the main commitments here. They seem quite reasonable. 100 repetitions of eo, heka, eo, ho sounds per day. Sounds like a lot, but actually, if you think about how short that sentence is, it won't take you much longer than just a few minutes. Actually, he says fewer than 5 minutes. You need to make an offering to Hekate on every new moon during training. So yeah, again, that's like seven rituals of offering. For most of you, that'll be nothing at all. And as with all my classes, the material is under a vow of secrecy, naturally. Just to say that I'm currently going through Jason Miller's Level Up course, which is a self-paced, right? So it's not involved like this one is, with videos and so on, and it's extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. I'm really looking forward to completing it so that I can give you a full review, but it is of such high quality. The recordings maybe not so much high quality, but the content is at times mind-blowing. Stuff of a style and of a variety and of a quality that you don't see very often. I'm sure that his Sorcery of Hekate course will be equally, if not much more impressive, for those of you who are interested. All right, let's move on to news from Alexander Cummins. Actually, in fact, 2 bits of news from Alexander Cummins. First of all is this course through the Cauldron Black called Scrying in Early Modern English Magic, which is happening Thursday, June 16th. So that's actually really going to be only for the members, those of you who are watching today on Thursday, as I'm recording this. For the rest of you who are not members and who are not watching this video on Thursday, then yeah, it's going to be a little bit too late for you guys. However, the following one, this is Catching Hands Gestural Magic for Planetary Magic, is... I can't see a date for it, actually, not up on the screen. But I believe self-contained one-off class exploring rituals and gestures based around the forms of the 16 figures of geomancy for calling, cohering, and deploying planetary rituals. In fact, I'm not sure that it's a live thing. It might just be a video that you purchase. There we go. That might make sense. So yeah, gestural magic. It might be interesting to see these kind of mudra equivalents in Western magic. I think that sounds at least worthy of curiosity. So very cool. All right, and finally, my board game of the week, Skyrise, a game of auctioning and artistic egos for 2 to 4 players. Looks like a very interesting one, if not necessarily the most mind-blowing thing. It looks certainly very, very beautiful. So there's this kind of steampunk theme. It's an auctioning game, so you're trying to build up your city to be the best city, right? To be the most beautiful city in this steampunk environment. Some influences from BioShock and from Arcane and so on and so forth are evident, and the other games in the company's backlog are very, very well respected. So that's very, very cool. Look how beautiful that is. Yeah, I think if you like that Art Deco style, that steampunk style, and you like economical games, then this might be one for you. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Thank you everyone also who joined the Patreon last week. We've had so many new joiners. I'm so grateful. This really means a tremendous amount to me. Thank you so much. For those of you who don't know, YouTube memberships are now no longer the only way to support me regularly. Those of you who didn't necessarily want to support me via YouTube or via Google now have the option to support me via Patreon. They take a much smaller cut out of your gifts, so that's certainly really appreciated by me. And yeah, please do leave a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't done so already. And I will see you very soon with another video. Take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching again. Bye bye.